Did you know that your kitchen trash can is actually holding a hidden gold mine of natural plant food that could save you hundreds of dollars on commercial fertilizers this year alone? Most of us are completely guilty of tossing out some of the most potent, nutrient-dense ingredients nature has to offer simply because we have been conditioned to think that healthy plants only come from expensive plastic bottles bought at a garden center. When you throw away common kitchen scraps, you are literally throwing away the very building blocks of vibrant blooms, lush green foliage, and heavy harvests. Whether you are managing a few small windowsill herb pots in a tight apartment, tending a beautiful backyard kitchen garden, or running a multi-acre farm that relies on keeping input costs as low as possible, the secret to robust plant health isn't sitting on a retail shelf. It is currently waiting right inside your pantry, your refrigerator, crisper drawer, and even your morning coffee maker, ready to transform your growing space without costing you a single extra penny. Before we dive into these incredible household secrets, I would love to invite you to join our growing family by subscribing to the channel so we can keep sharing these practical, down-to-earth remedies together. It really is a joy to have you here. And while you are clicking that button, please take a quick moment to drop your location down in the comments below. Whether you are writing to us from a bustling capital city, a quiet rural village, a sunny suburban district, or anywhere else across the globe, our little growing community includes everyday households, passionate home gardeners, and hardworking farmers from almost every continent. And knowing exactly where you are watching from helps me understand the unique climates and soils we are all working with. Think of the comment section as our virtual garden fence, where we can all sit down, swap stories, and learn from one another. So please do share your piece of the world with us. Before we move on to our very first remedy, most people throw away their morning coffee grounds without realizing what it can do for the soil beneath their feet. If you look into your coffee filter after brewing your morning cup, you are staring at a massive dose of nitrogen, potassium, and trace minerals that plants absolutely crave. The basic science behind this is beautiful, because coffee grounds are naturally acidic, which helps gently lower the pH of your soil, while building up organic matter that invites beneficial earthworms to do the hard digging for you. To prepare this simple booster for a standard household or backyard garden setup, you want to collect about 2 cups of used coffee grounds and let them dry out completely on an old newspaper or baking sheet so they do not develop mold. For a small-scale application in a kitchen garden or balcony pots, you can lightly scratch these dried grounds directly into the top inch of your soil, feeling the rough texture crumble between your fingers as you mix it around the base of your green leafy vegetables or acid-loving flowers. If you are a medium-scale farmer looking to apply this across a larger field, you can mix 20 pounds of dried grounds with a standard wheelbarrow of aged manure or compost to stretch your organic matter further. The best time to apply this is early in the morning, right before a gentle watering session, so the nutrients can begin soaking into the dry earth, and you should repeat this process once every 4 weeks during the active growing season to keep your soil rich and dark. But here is where it gets really interesting, because your breakfast leftovers can do so much more than just fix your soil structure. Think about the humble eggshell that usually gets tossed straight into the bin after breakfast. Eggshells are composed almost entirely of calcium carbonate, which is the exact same chemical compound found in agricultural lime used to prevent blossom end rot in tomatoes and peppers. When you give your plants calcium, you are essentially building strong cell walls, making them highly resilient against pests and harsh weather conditions. To prepare an incredibly fast-acting calcium tea, take the shells from a dozen eggs, rinse them cleanly, and crush them up loosely before boiling them in 1 gallon of water for about 15 minutes. Let this mixture sit overnight so the water can absorb all those rich minerals. Then strain out the pieces the next morning. For home gardeners and households, you can pour this cooled, mineral-rich liquid directly onto the soil around your potted plants or backyard vegetable beds once every 2 weeks. For our farmers who need to treat entire rows of crops, This same ratio can be scaled up in large barrels and applied through a backpack sprayer as a soil drench right at the base of the plants. Applying this in the cool evening hours allows the roots to drink deeply without the midday sun evaporating the moisture, ensuring your crops stay structurally sound and beautifully green. Your grandmother probably knew this next one, but somehow it got forgotten along the way, especially when it comes to dealing with stubborn garden pests without resorting to harsh chemical sprays. If you look inside your pantry, you likely have a small box of baking soda sitting in the back, which is a fantastic, completely natural antifungal agent. The science here relies on changing the pH balance on the surface of the plant leaves, making it an incredibly hostile environment for fungal spores like powdery mildew to take root and spread. To brew this household shield, dissolve 1 tablespoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of mild liquid dish soap into 1 gallon of clean water, shaking it gently until everything is completely integrated. Households and home gardeners can put this mixture into a simple hand trigger spray bottle and thoroughly coat the tops and bottoms of leaves on roses, cucumbers, or squash, where white fuzzy patches tend to appear. If you are a farmer managing an acre of specialty crops, you can scale this recipe up to fit your large tractor tanks or commercial spray rigs to protect your yield cost effectively. You should apply this preventative treatment once every 10 to 14 days, or immediately after a heavy rainstorm when humidity is high, making sure to spray either in the early morning or late evening to prevent the sun from scorching the wet leaves. Speaking of things we readily discard, let us talk about the water left behind after you boil your dinner potatoes, pasta, or rice. This cloudy liquid is absolutely packed with leftover starches that act as a direct fuel source for the beneficial bacteria living in your soil ecosystem. When you feed the soil microbes, they break down organic matter much faster, releasing locked-up nutrients directly to the root zones of your crops. Preparation could not be any easier because all you have to do is save your cooking water, making absolutely sure that you did not add any salt or oils to the pot during cooking. Allow the liquid to cool down completely to room temperature so you do not accidentally shock the delicate root hairs of your plants. Everyday households can use this starch water to give their indoor tropicals and balcony container plants a nutritious drink once a week. Farmers can channel their bulk graywater into small holding tanks to supplement their irrigation systems for nearby beds. The ideal time to use this is during your regular watering routine, when the soil is already slightly damp, allowing the starchy goodness to bind with the earth instead of running right off the top. Now, you might be wondering what to do when your plants look a bit yellow and sluggish, showing a clear lack of energy. The solution is hiding right in your medicine cabinet in the form of plain, unflavored Epsom salt. Epsom salt is actually magnesium sulfate, and magnesium is the central atom in the chlorophyll molecule, which gives plants their deep green color and allows them to turn sunlight into energy through photosynthesis. To make a highly effective foliar spray, dissolve 2 tablespoons of Epsom salt into 1 gallon of warm water, stirring until the crystals vanish completely. For a quick household fix, mist this solution onto your potted ferns, indoor fiddle leaf figs, or backyard pepper plants using a small mister. For a larger farming operation, this magnesium boost can be added directly into your drip irrigation lines, or applied via a large boom sprayer across fields of corn or tomatoes that are showing signs of yellowing between the leaf veins. This treatment works best when applied once a month during the peak of spring and summer, preferably on an overcast day or in the late afternoon, so the leaves have plenty of time to absorb the magnesium before the water dries up. But the kitchen remedies do not stop there, and there is one common bulb that every cook keeps on hand that acts as a fierce protector for your garden. Garlic is not just a flavor powerhouse for your pasta sauce. It contains a powerful sulfur compound called allicin, which acts as a completely natural insect repellent and antibacterial agent. Pests absolutely detest the pungent aroma of garlic, and it will keep everything from aphids to beetles away from your precious crops. To prepare a potent garlic defense spray, crush 2 whole heads of garlic and steep them in a quart of hot water for 24 hours to draw out all the essential oils. Strain the liquid into a container, mix in a teaspoon of vegetable oil to help it stick to the foliage, and dilute it with another gallon of water. Home gardeners can easily spray this around their delicate salad greens and flower beds to create a natural scent